Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Main Street Moments podcast. This is Kathy.
And Brian.
And as you can tell by the thumbnail, we wanted to talk about all the live streamers at Disney World. There seem to be more live streams and more live streamers this summer than ever. And I just thought it was interesting because I always watch, I've been watching Resort TV 1 for years. They're like the top live streamers. They're like at 175,000 subs, and they get tons of views. They're fantastic. But we have some new kids on the block, well, relatively new. They've been streaming within, I would say, the last year. And a lot of these people I just noticed because I really didn't watch anybody else. And now I'm seeing these other live streamers and watching them too. So,
okay. So far, yeah. As far as the live streamers go, I'm discovering a whole bunch of live streamers I never knew existed. And I know most of them are new. They're all new to me. Some of them have been around a little longer than others. And we had always had a routine for the last few years on Friday nights of watching Resort TV 1.
Like many of you.
And I've gotten away from watching live streams for a while, and then in the last few weeks, you and I have gotten back into watching live streamers. I don't know why.
I've always watched the Friday night Resort TV 1.
But we've gotten into watching a lot of live streamers. Like this weekend, it's Memorial Day weekend. We didn't go to the parks. I was going to go and vlog yesterday, then I was going to go today. But on Memorial Day weekend, there are so many Florida Highway Patrol officers on the turnpike that everyone drives the speed limit. It would take forever to get there and forever to get home. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that.
It's too bad because the parks were really empty,
I know.
Surprisingly empty for Memorial Day.
I should have gone.
Says a lot. Yeah, I mean, I watched some live streams yesterday, flipping back and forth throughout the day, and they were all commenting on how low the crowd was.
Yeah, but for some reason, we did like a binge watch all weekend long watching live streams at Walt Disney World. And it's not that we were sitting in front of the TV, but we had live streamers on all weekend long.
Sometimes in the background while we were doing other things.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we'd leave the house, we would leave them on.
And we started noticing things about some of the live streamers as we watched a little bit more than we've had in the last few months.
Well, here's some other ones we've discovered this weekend. We also obviously have Resort TV 1.
Absolutely.
There's That Crazy Disney Lady, Living in Diz, and Lake Buena Visitors. Those were the four that we watched and were familiar with. So now there's some new people that I've never seen before. Drew in the Moment, Mouse Talk, Ron on the Go, who's one of my new favorites, Diz, Our Dream, and Park Hoppers.
Yep.
Those are the five I've discovered this weekend or the last week or so. And Ron on the Go is, and we gave him a shout out. You gave him a shout out. I guess that we've known about him for a couple weeks. You gave him a shout out on your last video. And he's fantastic. We go into his chat sometimes. He's a very high energy guy. He's a veteran and talks a lot about his personal life, nice things about his family and how they moved from Seattle and this and that. And he's really good at live streaming. He's been doing it since last October. His channel is really, really growing fast. He's almost up to 15,000 subs. Gets quite a few steady views. He's developed a huge fan base already. Has members, Patreons. So the channel, he did say his wife gave him a year to make the channel work. So I'm assuming it's working for them.
Okay, so Ron
on the Go.
Ron on the Go is
people call him Ron Solo, which I think is really
I think
cute.
he should change his name to Ron Solo.
The channel, that'd be a good channel name, Ron. Ron Solo.
Maybe we should grab that before someone does, even though I'm not named Ron.
Ron Solo's good.
Then we'll sell it.
Then we'll sell it. Yeah.
No, but the thing about it is a lot of people have moved to Florida just to be vloggers. So Ron on the Go
live streamers
is somebody that's moved here to be a YouTuber.
Yeah, to do live streams. Okay. He said that he moved here from Washington. We know another couple that moved from Washington to vlog, and now they work for Disney. They're cast members, good friends of ours. But so it got me kind of thinking. I don't know if there's always been this many live streamers. I don't remember this many, but there's probably just for Disney World in any given week. At the same time now, it seems like there's multiple going on at the same time. And what I notice about Ron on the Go is he's working in conjunction with Park Hoppers, which is another channel. And what they do is they piggyback off each other. And I've never seen, I know Josh would do live streams with he'd have the West Coast and the East Coast crew, and they would go back and forth.
But that was still Resort TV 1.
Right. This is like another channel that does live streaming, and they're good too, Park Hoppers. And they will pick up when Ron finishes, and he will send people to their channel and vice versa.
You know, it's
which is an interesting
I've never
dynamic.
seen anybody do this before with two different channels. It's a form of collabing, like vloggers do, but they're doing it on a live stream. Okay, I'm finished for the day. Let me throw it to Park Hoppers.
Yeah, or watch them tonight. They'll be...
Yeah.
I think that's a good strategy if you're a new channel, relatively new, and you're trying to grow your channel quickly. Because the way the YouTube algorithm goes, there might be there's channels that do Disney vlogs that have been there for years that I haven't even seen yet because they just don't show up in my algorithm. But if you're watching live streams, and you watch, say you found Park Hoppers, and then they mention him, and you might not have seen Ron, and then all of a sudden, oh, let me check him out. So it's a good way to kind of cross promote.
Yeah,
but. I hope that doesn't become a problem down the road when they get super big.
Or one of them gets super big and the other one doesn't get as big. And then there's, I hope. Well,
not.
The thing about the live streamers, there have been a lot of live streamers at Walt Disney World the last few years. And when I go to the parks, especially Magic Kingdom, but if I'm Epcot too, but you almost trip over live streamers. Most of them I've never heard of before or recognize. You know, there's a lot. There's so many there, and there's so many. Like yesterday, which was Saturday night, Rick Springfield was
Sunday.
Oh
Today's
yes,
Monday.
I forgot. It's Memorial Day Monday. It feels like Sunday because it's Memorial Day holiday. So last night, which was Sunday night, Rick Springfield was playing at Epcot, and I really. If I would have remembered that Rick Springfield was going to be there, I probably would have gone regardless of
we've seen him in concert a couple times.
I love
we're
Rick
Gen
Springfield.
X. He's amazing,
But, and I was like, oh, wow, Rick Springfield's going to be there. So I just went on YouTube and did a search, Rick Springfield live stream, Epcot, and a whole bunch of people popped up. None of them I've ever heard of before. Very small channels that were live streaming there.
I was really surprised kind of that Resort TV 1 or That Crazy Disney Lady or any of the more well-known ones did not cover Rick Springfield. He's a huge star singer. He's awesome. And that's like, the older generation, I guess Gen X. But I was really surprised that none of those bigger channels even went there because they do show concerts that I've seen, but I'm surprised nobody showed him.
It was a big thing. So anyway,
I'm glad somebody did because it was really good.
What's going on here, and this is just my perception from watching the live streamers, okay?
Oh, boy.
A couple weeks ago, Ron on the Go had this amazing live stream, which I talked about a couple videos ago on our channel here. Yeah. I did a video on the Disney YouTubers you should be watching.
Right.
And one of them was Ron on the Go. And that was the day after Ron on the Go did this amazing live stream. He went to Hollywood Studios at opening.
Yeah.
And was trying to break the world record on the most rides of Rise of the Resistance.
Or at least in a single record.
In a single day.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he broke the record.
For Millennium Falcon.
Oh, was it Smuggler's Run?
Just Smuggler's Run,
I'm getting everything confused guys.
He wrote it 54 times.
I did, well, yeah.
Or 55. Yeah. The record was 54, and he made it in the final few minutes to 55. And it was like a 12-hour ordeal.
And whoever came close to that in the past probably did not do it on a weekend. To do that he did that on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So amazing. To do that, which is like the busiest day of the week, and for Ron on the Go to do that on a Saturday was amazing. But anyway.
I could not ride the same ride for 12 hours.
That live stream of Ron on the Go was very intense. The suspense was building.
Yes, it was good.
The people, I don't know how many people watched that stream live. We were in the chat room, but I was so into what was going on, I wasn't paying attention to how many people were in the chat, but it was growing and growing.
Was like intense.
Is he going to do it?
Yeah,
and then,
it was intense.
Then they shut down the single rider line, and then he had to wait. Oh man, it was a mess, but he did it.
He did.
And what I've noticed since then, now this just may be me and my perception,
right?
But it seems now that, and this is what inspired the thumbnail of this podcast and the title, is there seems to be some competition going on among the live streamers now.
Oh, absolutely.
For viewers.
They will tell you the opposite. In fact, I watched Josh Saturday And he mentioned Ron on the Go a few times, and he kept saying, we're not in competition, we're not in competition. They might tell you that, and they might want to think it, but deep down they know that's not true. They are in competition, and competition is a good thing. They are in competition for your views, for your loyalty, for your super chats, for your membership, for your Patreon. Nobody that I can think of, I don't know, is going to patronize everybody or become a member of every channel or give super chats to everybody. People have their favorites, and not everybody binge watches live streams all weekend like we do. So they might not have as much time. Yeah. So they are going to watch their favorite live stream. Mm-hmm. And I think Resort TV One has a very, very, very loyal audience.
Absolutely.
Built up. I mean, they have a lot of subs, get a lot of views. Everybody loves Josh and Jenna. And I will say this. I watched Jenna with her husband do a live stream, and they were awesome together. I've never really seen them together.
Friday night.
They did Hollywood Studios. Yeah, Friday night. And Dale is hilarious. He's kind of a goofball, but he's in a good way. And they were very good together. They should do more live streams, just the two of them. They're very good. Their dynamic was different with them alone.
Then when they're with the whole family.
Right. With them alone, it was funny. And I'm not saying they're not normally good, but it was a different dynamic, and I really enjoy their live stream. And I don't think Josh is threatened by anybody, but he did mention Ron on the Go quite a bit. But there is a competition for, like I said, for your attention and for your financial support. None of these people would be doing this if it wasn't lucrative, and that's fine. It's a way to make money. There is nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, more power to you. Yeah. I've always said that, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of work. Live streaming is not easy. Live streaming 12 hours, riding the same ride over and over again has got to be like crazy. And obviously, it's the way they make an income. Sometimes it's their sole income. Sometimes it's extra money, whatever. So they are definitely in competition, even though they'll tell you they're not. They are in competition for your attention and your support.
Well, yeah, and
so that is true. And believe me, they know it. They know it.
There have been in the past some rivalries with live streamers that. There was
two I can think.
There was some conflict that I never understood between Resort TV One with Spokesmayne.
Yes, something happened,
and I don't know what happened, and I've met them both, and
I know what happened,
and they're very nice. Oh, really? You can't tell us.
This is what I was told.
Okay, don't say what you were told, because that may be inaccurate.
I could just say it was what I was told.
I wouldn't.
It had to do. I'll just give you this. It had to do with a charity.
No, I don't think it was
an event that Spokesmayne organized.
I don't think it was that.
A live stream event, a 24-hour something, and he did not include Resort TV One, which he should have.
The rivalry was before that.
You think it was?
Yeah, there was something going on.
There was a reason he didn't include
There was something going on before that between Spokesmayne and Resort TV One, and there was a rivalry between them.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I've met them both. They're very, very nice. I've met them both more than once. And they've always been nice to me.
Well, that's,
But that was in the early days of Disney live streaming, which was only a couple years ago.
Yeah, you're going back like 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years. There were not that many live streamers.
No.
A few, here's some Emporium and stuff. But there was this moment when Resort TV One was exploding, and maybe I thought Spokesmayne was getting a little territorial because he'd been streaming.
They exploded. And Resort TV One surpassed
so I don't know what
everybody.
The competition that's going on now, though, mainly as far as I can tell, maybe I'm leaving somebody off, is, of course, Resort TV One, which is kind of like the Tim Tracker of the live streamers. People. Ron on the Go, Lake Buena visitors, and then we also have that crazy Disney lady and Living in Diz, okay? And
you got these other people that have more subs than Living in Diz, though.
Well, Living in Diz is a moderator for Resort TV One, which I find interesting. That's why I'm including them in that. Mm-hmm. And this competition between these five, it's a healty competition. I don't think there's anything unhealthy about the competition, like with the Spokesmayne Resort TV One conflict. I don't see any conflict.
No, exactly. There's no ill feelings. at least outwardly.
But what I've noticed is this.
But there's more people involved than just the 5 you named.
Yeah.
There's like 15 people.
Yeah. But
you're limiting it too much.
Those are probably the 5 that I watch the most. So I guess I'm focusing. But what I've noticed that's changed, where I'm seeing the competition of the live streamers take place, is that, and I think this started, even if it's subconsciously, by some of the others because of Ron on the Go's Smuggler's Run Spectacular. What Ron on the Go started doing with that a lot of YouTubers and general live streamers and vloggers don't do with Disney, people don't like to wait in line. So they don't wait in line. And Ron waits in line for things. Not only if he has a Genie Plus or there's a single rider, he'll wait in line 80 minutes to ride something. The other one, people don't really do that like they used to.
They're starting to, though.
And that's what I've noticed. I've noticed people are now waiting in lines. In fact, they're waiting in line so often. Sometimes I'll turn on a stream and it'll take me a second. Where are they? I got to figure out where they are because maybe I'll see a part of a queue I never noticed before.
In fact, the other night, Josh was in line for Guardians of the Galaxy. He was in that line for like 2 hours because the ride had broken down. He had to wait and he was kind of trapped, I think. And then he did it. And then he was like, oh, that's just the way it goes. And I know Ron on the Go waited for the Kilimanjaro yesterday. He was doing a 4-park stream and it took 2.5 hours, 2 hours to get through that ride. So you're right. A lot of live streamers, they want to keep the energy going, the momentum going, keep things moving. So I think some of them, they don't wait in those longer lines, or at least they didn't, because the thinking maybe was, we want to keep things going, moving. But I've read a lot of comments you guys have left here, and you really like to see the rides. In fact, a lot of people have left comments that they don't ride the rides enough.
Vloggers and live streamers.
Right. So if you're a live streamer, go on the rides, even if you wait, because if these guys all chit chat and talk to the chat, and they're happy to wait and watch. People really want to see the rides, but maybe they're afraid if they're in a line too long, they'll lose people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But here's what I think you need to have. And I have criticisms of channels, and I really don't want to get into that too much because I don't want, people get upset. But here's what I think needs to be to be a good live streamer. There's a few things. You need to have a good streaming quality, which Resort TV 1 has, Ron on the Go, Lake Buena Visitors. They have good video quality. And I will say with, I hate to say it, but with Tanya, that crazy Disney lady, I think she needs to work on her video quality. It's just not as good. I'm sorry. She's very nice.
You know what I think it is?
But her picture is very grainy and it's very hard to watch sometimes.
I think
she needs to upgrade her equipment.
I think that, I think that the crazy Disney lady, I think she streams directly on the YouTube app.
Yeah.
As opposed to using a third-party app. And most of the live streamers either use Streamlab or Prism. And if you use
it's a better picture.
If you use the YouTube app, it's very difficult. If you use Prism or Streamlabs,
Prism's good.
You get a better picture quality. So like Living in Diz, like I ran into Living in Diz about a year ago at the park. We hadn't seen each other in person in a while. We were talking and there's
Corey.
Corey from Living in Diz, and their stream quality has gotten much better. And I was talking to him about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we found the right app." He told me we found the right app to use.
You have to use an outside app. So that would be my advice to Tanya, because a lot of people do like her live streams. Even though I've noticed some of these live streamers are branching out into other things, like she's doing lunch with the ladies.
I don't like that.
I'm not interested in that.
I don't like that.
So I don't watch those people. I've never really been interested in watching people eat for hours and talk.
Whenever I'm watching,
but people do like it. It's just not my thing.
When I'm watching a live stream and someone goes into a restaurant to eat, I don't like it, especially if they're showing themselves eating and talking. I mean, sometimes if you're at Magic Kingdom and you're showing Sunny Eclipse, I can watch that for a little bit. But I'm not really.
When it goes on for an hour, 2 hours,
and chit chatting among the group without including that. Yeah, I don't really care for that. No.
I've noticed Resort TV 1 does not do that as much as they used to. They used to go all the time and sit at a restaurant for like an hour and a half. And I notice they don't do that as much, which I appreciate. And again, this is just a matter of personal taste. It's nothing against any channel. It's just my personal taste and constructive advice. Take it or leave it. Another thing that makes a good live stream, so the video quality it has to be good. And another thing is obviously to have an interesting personality, because there is a lot of interaction with your audience. And, you want to be able to engage them in conversation, especially when you're on the rides, and be friendly with them and appreciative. And most of the live streamers are this way. And I think that's a good quality. I haven't seen any live streamer that really lacks the ability to communicate with their audience. I mean, you know what I mean? I think that's a good quality to have. Some communicate too much. And I will say, this is my issue with Lake Buena visitors. Maria, she's very nice, always looks nice and cute. Her husband's nice. They're very nice people.
And I have some of their T-shirts.
Yeah, they have amazing T-shirts. They have the best T-shirts I've ever seen.
The Lake Buena visitors, the husband, I guess, is a graphic designer.
I guess.
He's a
soccer player.
A professional soccer player.
Yes.
And a graphic designer. And I have some of their T-shirts. They have T-shirts better than Disney. Much better than
Sometimes,
Disney.
yeah. They're
and the one I have that I'd really, when they have a T-shirt, you got to buy it because they're all like limited edition. The Jungle Cruise shirt.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Oh my goodness. The Jungle Cruise shirt that Lake Buena visitors did is amazing.
So my issue with that channel, and Brian and I watched them the other day, because I haven't watched them in a while because of this issue.
I didn't know you were going to share this part.
My issue with them, and this is again a personal issue, choice, is I feel Maria, and again, she's a very nice lady.
Yes.
I feel she is on the camera too much. She does not show the park enough. And I know she wants to be personable, and she's extremely chit-chatty. Sometimes a little too much. She talks a lot during rides, which is a little annoying. I think you need to do what Josh does and not say a word on the ride.
Yeah.
But that's, again, a personal issue, to taste. I like her streams. I used to watch her more, but I don't watch them anymore because every time you put them on, Maria's on the camera. Every freaking time. She shows the park about 20% of the time, she shows herself about 80% of the time.
You think so?
I do. I know so. In fact, I had one of her streams on the other day, and I kept fast forwarding. I watched a rerun, and every time I stopped, she was on the camera.
Oh my goodness.
I understand she's, like I said, trying to be engaging, and she really is excited about what she's doing. And I'm sure she's very nice. She's very nice to people that meet her. She really loves what she's doing, and that's wonderful. That's infectious. But for me personally, I want to see the park. Ron on the Go, you rarely see that guy on camera. You see him at the beginning, and if he flips the camera on himself, it's literally for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
To say hi or thank somebody, and then boom, back on the park. That is the way you need to live stream, in my personal opinion. I want to see the park. I don't need to see the live streamer 80% of the time.
Yeah.
Talking and rambling on about things. I watch it to see the park. That's my personal take on that. Take it or leave it. You guys can leave your comments. I'm sure some will agree or disagree with me. But I think there is a competition. I think it's going to heat up this summer now that Josh is out of school. I've noticed in the last few weeks, they are switching off, him and Jenna, and they are live streaming almost every day. They used to just really do Friday Night Live, which they've got that locked in. That's how they built their audience, was that Friday Night Live. It was a genius thing to do. And now they're live streaming almost every single day. And I think that is a direct response to these other live streamers. I think they want to make sure that they maintain their audience and they don't wander off to other people. I mean, that's just my feeling on it.
Jenna from Resort TV 1 because Josh and Jenna both have their own channels.
Yes.
And on Jenna's own channel with her husband, she said that Resort TV 1 is her first full-time job now. It's her full-time job now. And
they're definitely streaming more.
It does seem like they're streaming more to try to...
Oh, they are.
Listen, there's only so many live streams you can watch in a day.
Right.
And, people get a new favorite. That's what I mean?
Right. It's a shiny new penny.
But I'll tell you that someone who's a live streamer that has not shown up in my feed in like over a year, and I just realized this the other day, and I went and saw them, and they're still live streaming, but Corey Meets World. I like Corey Meets World.
Yeah.
And I don't know why
he never shows up.
He doesn't show up in my feed anymore. I
watched him last week too.
I don't know how often he streams. But he still is streaming. But I don't know why he's not showing up in my feed. I like him as well.
Yeah, he's another one that live streams. So there's so many now he used to be in Resort TV 1s a lot. I don't know if he still is or is not as much.
I haven't seen him lately.
They collabed a lot. but I haven't seen him
I
lately.
saw him.
I'm sure they're still friendly.
I saw what got me thinking about Corey Meets World, because he hadn't showed up on my feed in so long.
Yeah.
He was on Jen from Resort TV 1. He went to he was on her channel with Dale.
Oh, okay.
He was at a golf tournament with Jenna's husband.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But
yeah, we did see that.
The reason I think that there was, and again, there's so many more live streamers than we've mentioned. We've just, I guess, mentioned the people we watch, our favorites.
There's even more to choose from.
The reason I think there's so many live streamers, and there's a lot, you go to the parks, you see them around, there's a lot, is because it doesn't take any editing skill, and
right. It's fun. It's fun to do.
Fun. Not everybody can edit, and
right,
so
exactly.
And if you're vlogging, you got to edit. So if you,
which is a lot of work,
to do a live stream is much easier from a technical aspect than vlogging if you don't know how to edit. Mm-hmm. And Resort TV 1, they've gotten so popular that everybody wants to be Resort TV 1. So they've inspired a lot of their competition.
That's what always happens. I mean, you have Tim Tracker, who was, him and Adam the Woo and Justin Scard were like the OG of Disney vlogging. And we were inspired to start vlogging because of Justin. And when you're good at what you do, you have people that want to do what you're doing. That is a compliment to you. And that is, so it's kind of a paradox because it's a compliment to you and you're happy, but then you worry deep down, well, are they going to take people from my audience and take that time away from me? Is that going to be their new favorite?
Yeah.
And I'm sure no matter what they say, these live streamers, that is still at the back of their mind, because whatever they tell you about no competition, there is a competition for, like I said, for your attention, especially if you have 3 or 4 people live streaming at the same time. And I think this summer, you are going to see more live streamers than ever from Walt Disney World. You're going to have a plethora to choose from. And
is it plethora or plethora?
I think it's plethora, tomato. And you're going to have a lot, I'll say, to choose from. And there's only, like you said, there's only so much you can watch. And but competition is always good, and I think it helps people to step up their game.
Well, Josh,
a little bit, which I've seen happening now.
Josh at Resort TV 1 should. I know he's. How can you tell someone not to worry when you got all these people? I never feel any sense that the Tim Tracker is worried about anything.
No, God, no.
And JoJo,
which he should be.
JoJo is broke the 1 million sub mark recently, and I don't see all of a sudden Tim Tracker getting crazy,
because
doing stuff.
JoJo doesn't get the views, and I don't see JoJo as his competition at all. Tim Tracker is so far ahead, but you got to remember, guys, it's not about the subs, it's about the views. And you could have 1 million subscribers like JoJo, but if you get 15,000 views, that's not very many for somebody with 1 million subs. And if you have 10 live streamers in a day, or on a holiday weekend, or on a Saturday live streaming, you have Resort TV 1, which has 175,000 subs, and then you have Ron on the Go, who has just under 15, and then these other people all under 15, 20,000. The subs don't matter if they're pulling people from your audience to watch them instead. It's the views that make the money. It's also the Patreons that make the money, the super chats that make the money. So you might have somebody on a budget, and they might be patronizing one channel, and then they have another channel that's new, and they be like, you know what? I'm going to give this guy a shot.
Yeah.
He's got a new channel, and they got 175,000 subs. They get plenty of super chats. I'm going to support this guy for a while. That happens. I'm telling you, that happens, and it's always at the back of every YouTube. Brian does YouTube on another channel. When you're a YouTuber and you're making money off it, it's always at the back of your mind that there is some kind of a competition. Now, they all are being positive and supporting each other. I don't think there's any backbiting, and they all promote each other's channels, so that's good thing.
Not yet.
But in the back of the mind, I'm sure there's a little concern for getting your attention on those things.
Listen,
tell us what you think about that.
There are so. I mean, I remember this was a few years ago. This was 3 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Tim Tracker was just on Main Street, sitting down, eating a hot dog, had his camera on the castle, and all of a sudden lightning struck the castle.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Tim Tracker got it on video.
No, he was in the treehouse.
Was it the treehouse?
I think he was in the treehouse when that happened. Anyway,
whatever.
he got the lightning.
He got the lightning.
That was
strike.
pretty cool.
There are so many live streamers.
Yeah.
Every moment at all of the Disney parks in Florida, at any given point, the park is being live streamed now, right? Because there's so many live streamers.
Exactly.
Someone is going to get a live stream that goes viral. Something is going to happen where they go viral, and that's when it's going to get really rough because they're going to get I don't want to say
like maybe another fight will break out in a lot. But even if you record it as a video, if you upload it right away, it can go viral.
The fight at the entrance to Main Street USA at Walt Disney World a couple weeks ago. I did a video on it last week and showed the video. I think it's the video before this one. If you're on our YouTube channel, if a live streamer caught that,
in real time,
that would go viral. So eventually, one of the live streamers there's going to be a moment. There was one live streamer a couple years ago. I'm not going to say which one, and it is not one of the ones we've mentioned. Okay. But there was one live streamer who got into a verbal argument on the Jungle Cruise with a guest. And what had happened, there was this live streamer, and we have not mentioned them or referenced them during this entire show.
No, we have not. I don't think we've mentioned them in a while.
And they were live streaming on the Jungle Cruise, and this guy just did not like the idea that he and his family, in particular his children, were on this live stream.
Yeah, which is a problem. You have to be respectful.
This guy was so mad at the streamer. Yeah. I thought that he was like an undercover federal agent or in the witness protection program or something. This guy did not like being seen. Right. And the live streamer didn't back down and got into an argument with it. And it went on during the entire Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, it was messy.
And that video got a lot of attention. They since deleted it. But
he apologized because
not to the guests because they were gone.
You have to and like I said, other than that particular live streamer, I've seen Josh get in a few tiny little verbal back and forth with people because people have pushed him or it gets crazy at the park. But that happens to anybody. That happens to anybody at the park, whether you're live stream or not. People in big crowds can get a little crazy. But when you're a live streamer or a vlogger, you really, you're in a public place, but you do have to be aware that you are broadcasting or filming people that might not be so happy about it. And I'm sure they are. Like I said before, all the live streamers I've seen are very nice, polite, respectable to others. Some talk a little too much during the rides, not just Maria, but there's another one too, or talk very loudly and can be a little disruptive to the other guests. And I think that's a little inconsiderate. That's just me. You have to be considerate of other people at the park when you are filming. I think that's just being a nice person and not talk so loud when you shouldn't be talking and know when to be a little quiet or no, you know what I mean? I think that's important too. And I think the audience picks up on
a lot of the live streamers, and I know Josh at Resort TV One's very aware of this, like if he goes on Pirates, he'll sit in the last row.
He is very good live streaming rides, and so is Ron, and most of them. When you're on a ride, you should not talk at all because not only do people that are watching you want to experience that ride, but you're ruining it for the other people on the ride by yammering on and on. You should not do that. You should say, okay, I'm going to stop talking now, but some people can't help themselves. I'm going to stop talking now so you can enjoy the ride. They have to make it all about them. The people that are on the ride as well would appreciate it if you would keep your mouth shut.
All right, so just changing topics a little bit here. I think we mentioned before, I'm sure we have, our daughter has moved from Florida to Los Angeles, and she went to Disneyland for the first time this weekend, which I still have not been to, and she had the time of her life, and she has been to Walt Disney World probably not more than you guys that listen to us and stuff because you guys are like fanatical like we are. But she's been to Walt Disney World more times than the average person in this country.
Yeah, I would say at least 20, 25 times.
At least. I mean, I was just there with her too.
We've been taking her since she was 2 years old.
Yeah, I mean, she's been going there since before she knew she was there. She was there, right? And she loved, now a lot of this could be because it was her first visit, but she told me she likes Disneyland better than Walt Disney World for a whole bunch of reasons. And we bought her an annual pass out there.
Yeah, last night.
We got her an annual pass.
We got her an annual pass. So she was texting us, and she's been there for the whole weekend. And she loves it because she got the Genie Plus, which she was able to use on about 10 or 15 rides. So she didn't wait more than 15 minutes. But she said everything's so convenient because the park is smaller, and going from one end to the other, it took her like 10, 15 minutes. It's much more concise.
Well, and they have all the great rides at just 2 parks instead of spread out like
and
at Walt
she
Disney World.
loved Cars Land. That was her favorite. She sent us a couple shorts we put up on our channel, and she said she is going to start sending us shorts. We're hopefully going to get her to vlog for us maybe down the road. But she texted me last night at like 12 o'clock our time, midnight. She was heading home. She was there all weekend. And she's like, Mom, I really love it. It's so amazing. And so she said to me, if I get an annual pass, they call it the magic key.
Yeah.
Like the top pass. She said they'll credit what I spent on my tickets this weekend, which was about $250.
Yeah, she
said they'll credit it towards the pass. So I said, well, how much is the difference? She told me, and I said, go ahead and get it. I'll send you the money. And she was so excited. I said, you have a good time, and what are you going to do? And so she did that, and her friend that was with her girlfriend, got the annual pass as well. So now they only live 30 minutes away, 35 minutes. Yeah. So she's all excited.
Yeah, so hopefully she'll go a lot since we got her the annual pass.
She says she will. She better.
Yeah, and she
loved Cars Land, by the way. She just loved it there. She loved the whole park.
She'd been to Disney World so many times she took it for granted where like I had to like drag her out of the house to take her to Disney World sometimes.
Yeah, after a while she's like, whatever. But now I said, I'll get it for you, but you have to go a lot. And she said she will, but she really did like it a lot better. She liked the food better. She has an annual pass for Universal out there, so she's been there a couple times. But hopefully we'll get some content out of her.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to doing. After talking to our daughter though this weekend, I am afraid that when I go to Disneyland for the first time, I'm really afraid about this. That I'm going to like it better than Walt Disney World.
Right.
And
she likes it better.
The thing about Walt Disney World, and I love Walt Disney World.
She said it's easier to get around.
It is so inconvenient to get around. And I always time it when I park and I get out of my car at the Magic Kingdom, on average 25 minutes from my car to Main Street. But then you got to get back. And when you're coming back, you're tired.
Well, we have the 4 parks. They have the 2. They have the California Adventure, which is right in front of Disneyland. And that has the Incredicoaster. It's not like a huge park, but it has the Cars Land area and all that. And she loved that. But we have 4 parks, which is nice. Yeah. But they are kind of spread out too. I mean, it's not easy to get from one to the other.
It is not, and it takes a lot of time. Yeah. I mean, my goodness. So I think I'll, I'm afraid I'll like it. She didn't
ride the monorail though yet. She needs to do that.
Oh, she didn't go on the monorail.
She did not go on the monorail. So hopefully she'll do that next time.
For the life of me, I don't understand why Disney does not rebuild their people mover. Disneyland.
Yeah, I wish they would.
Yeah. The people mover out there, every Disneyland vlogger I watch, they just dream of having their people mover back.
Yeah.
And I know the track is damaged and maybe the supports are no good anymore. They build entire theme parks, right? Look what they're doing. They can't get their people mover back.
And she said, I don't know. And she said, she was talking about how the rides were different, how she went on the Tower of Terror, which is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And she said, when you go up high, you don't like go forward and move through to the front. Yeah. You just go up and then boom, you go down, up and down. That's it. And how Space Mountain, they have a Star Wars layover on it, or whatever you call it.
It's Hyperspace Mountain right now. Yeah, yeah, which I would love to ride. I would love to ride
Excuse
that.
me,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, let us know what you think about all these things, and I'm sure there's a lot of live streamers we don't know about. You can tell us who they are in the comments.
Put your favorites
as well.
In the comments too. We always like to give a shout out to people.
Put your favorite live streamers in the order in which you enjoy them. Right?
Yeah, that's a good idea. And are there new ones you watch? Are there ones you used to watch that you don't watch anymore, and why? Or maybe you don't watch live streamers. Do you think that now we watch both vlogs and live streamers, but maybe that's an anomaly. Do you think that there are 2 groups of Disney viewers, live stream viewers and vlogger viewers? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's 2 camps, and there's not as many people that watch both. Do you think people just like one or the other?
I think that.
I think
so. I think there's a lot.
I think there's people that like the live streams, and then there's people that watch the vlogs. I personally prefer the live streams.
Yeah, I just want to mention one last thing. This is about vloggers, okay? Just one last thing with vloggers. Some of the bigger Disney vloggers that have gotten huge sub counts, like over 100,000, are doing different things now, right?
Oh, yes, you wanted to mention
Pagey
this.
Mr. Morrow just went to Europe. He went over to the UK for Star Wars Celebration. I know that's Disney Star Wars, okay?
Yeah, he's keeping it Disney related.
Super Enthused is she's married, and she's turned into doing this Adam the Woo thing, traveling the country all the time. And sometimes they're like I watched Super Enthused the other day. She went on some coaster that's on top of a skyscraper in Vegas. She looked terrified. Forget about that. I'd never do that stuff. And JoJo just went to Greece and did another Virgin Voyages cruise thing. This is what I think is going on with some of the bigger Disney YouTubers. Okay, now this is just something that popped in my mind today. They have a lot of subs. I'm talking about people that have over 100,000 subs. They're starting to do things outside of Disney. And I think the reason that is not so much that they're bored with Disney. They're making a lot of money on YouTube now and they can afford to travel. Like Super Enthused, they can afford to travel and do things maybe they couldn't do before. I mean, JoJo's really...
Maybe they are bored with Disney.
I mean, you look at JoJo, I mean, it's an amazing story. I mean, I remember when he was working in maintenance in Adventureland and at Hollywood Studios, and here he is, sailing through the Greek Isles. It's pretty amazing.
I don't watch him anymore.
So there's a lot of money to be made on YouTube, and I think some of them have gotten away from what made them so popular by going to these other destinations.
That happens with a lot of YouTube channels.
I'm not really... I like Super Enthused. I've met her a couple times. She's very, very nice. Jackie from Super Enthused. But I'm not interested in her Adam the Woo-like adventures around the country.
It's like what made them big. Now they've walked away from that.
Yeah.
And they're doing other things. Yeah, I think that happens a lot with YouTubers. And I think it's just they want to mix it up. They get bored. Or they start thinking the channel's more about them than Disney.
I don't know. But I would like them to get back to Disney. I'm not really interested in watching them do other things.
And I feel like once they do that, Brian, they never go back. I feel like once they start going down that road sometimes of doing cruises and going other places, they're like Tim with the home vlogs.
Yeah.
He is less and less at the park.
Well,
and more. I know he's got a baby at home and another kid. I understand that. But he's doing more home vlogs and less park vlogs.
Well, the thing about the cruises, I'll just mention this last thing and then we'll say goodbye because I've mentioned this on past shows. I take a cruise every year, and once you've been on one cruise ship, you've been on them all, unless there's something brand new that no one's seen yet. And that's just the way it is. They all basically, there's not that much difference between cruise ships. I don't care what the cruise line is, okay? They're pretty much all the same. And they all go to the same places. It's just not, I really don't enjoy the Disney.
I find the cruise vlogs boring as hell.
Yeah, I don't like them unless
really boring. I don't watch them
unless like Tim Tracker went on one and stayed at the most expensive suite, like the Royal Disney Suite or something, which I've never seen.
Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah, that was like
he always stays at the most expensive suite.
I'm like, okay, well, I've never seen the Royal Disney Suite. I'll never stay there, but Tim, so I'll watch that.
I don't mind the Disney cruise vlogs, but once you've seen one, you've seen them all, I guess. But I guess you could say the same thing for the parks. But the other cruising, I don't watch those at all. I just don't care.
Well, anyway, guys, let us know what you think in the comments. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife, Kathy. This is Main Street Moments. We'll talk to you next time.